Okay guys, not much place to hide tonight, so I am going to take my replay here and step through it, and hopefully you guys can watch this and we'll just have a Q&A session. Alright, first front stretch, wide open throttle obviously, all the way down. What I'm looking at is the end of this wall here, so the end of this wall just past it is where I'm going to turn in. I'm going to clip this curb. You can take a little bit of this curb without upsetting the car. And that's actually where I lift off and start braking as well. So once I get to this curb, I'll be braking and then tracking out for that second clip. So here you'll see I should get on the brake here in just a second. Yep, brake. I'll be tracking out toward this sign a little bit. You'll start seeing the white curb. Sometimes you have to counter steer there, as you saw me. There's a little dip in the road there that kind of upsets the car. It's no big deal. Quick catch and just off back to this curb. Then I start looking at this inside curb, trying to grab the apex just after where you can see it here. And it's kind of a double apex. There's kind of a flat spot and then double. You can use third or second. So I'll use third here. If I'm in traffic, I think I'll probably be in second, or if I didn't slow enough early, I'll probably use second to help slow the car and get it to rotate for this corner. So down, clip the first one, get the second part, and then out this other curb. Setup for this one's pretty straightforward, straight down. This white curb again, I use a lot of the white curbs here in terms of visuals. So I'm just past this white curb, some marks in here where I start my braking. Then this corner has a pretty weird exit in terms of it's hard to see your track out. So I pick my apex down in here, get it, and then try to track out, use some of the curb. I use a lot here, probably as much as you can without getting a 1X. So I usually use a little less, but that's all right. So down to third, clip that part, back on power, all the way out. Pretty easy braking marker here for me. It's these tires out here. I'll be braking early. You have to realize there's this little undulation. So if you brake hard early, which I usually don't, I brake a little light, then you have to lift a little and back on the brakes as you come across this hill. You can carry the brake all the way to your apex on this inside curbing, which I'm pretty sure I do here. Yeah, I'm still carrying a little bit of brake as I come here, and then it's going to be on power. Now, as I come on power, sometimes I have to feather it. The car will break loose a little bit. Sometimes I don't. In this is a case I think I don't have to feather. So yeah, on power, up the hill. All right, now the fun one. You can go third gear or fourth gear in this next corner. I'm using fourth, and I shift early. And that's really my main reason is if I'm in third, I feel like I'm winding it up, hitting the rev limiter over the curbing inside, and then I have to shift at the same time, so just pretty busy. And car needs to be a little smooth through here so that it can hold grip and not track out too far. So I'll shift early, lift, try to hit the black stuff on the inside. So right through here, that black part that I start seeing, there's a bump here that you have to avoid, but this black stuff I'll try to clip and get exit right here, and then I should be able to get pretty wide open and get out to the white curb on the exit. And the next blind corner. So again, the end of the white curb, just before it a little bit actually, is where I lift. It does not take much braking for this one for me. And then it's down to the white curbing, red curbing with a little bit of the white. You have to be careful. This is one of the first ones that has a dip on the inside. So if you dip your wheels too far over here, it'll kind of throw the car. So get some of the white on power, track out to the next one, over to the one that I have the most difficulty with. But again, I'm before the white, fourth gear or third gear again. I'm using fourth. Once I hit fourth at the top of the hill over there, going to the bridge, I stay in it all the way until I get to the last corner. So looking here and then looking for the white with dark, and I think I miss it on this lap. I try to get a little more of the dark than this if I can. So yeah, I missed it a little bit, but it's okay. It's out to this curb. Now the car actually will get a little light over that corner too sometimes, so just be prepared as you come across, or you might have a nice drift across the top of that hill. Here I go about mid-track. I don't see a reason to track out as far as Scott is doing there. So I go about to this mark here, and then again looking for those famous white curbs. So this white curb, if I can clip the front of it and exit at the end of it. So I'm exiting, trying to exit here, which will set me up for the blind left part on the top of this hill. So we'll see how good I am at hitting this. So yeah, right at that white, straight. Now I'll straighten the wheel and just straight out. And then you can clip this black part of the curb here and go up to the next corner. And the final corner, you can see this dip and this mark here, this X. There's kind of like 4 different things you can use here. There's this gray spot here. Behind cars, I was following Tom earlier, I don't have a problem finding my mark here. The good news is it comes down this hill and it's pretty easy to see and feel where you're supposed to be braking. But then this curb is another one that has this big fall off. You want to get as far inside as you can, but be careful not to go over that curb. So there's some black, some darker marks on the inside of that curb, and that's what I try to get. They start about mid-curb here and go on, and that's where you want to get down there. So you could turn in a little later than I turn in. I tend to turn into this corner a little earlier, but I think it helps me. Yep, and now I'm going for this black. As soon as I see this, I'm looking for this blacker, darker part where I want to ride it around and be able to get on the power and exit. Yep, and as I exit, now I should be able to carry full throttle. And you can see this red and this black mark down here on the wall and this telephone pole, whichever you want to use here. But my eyes gravitate toward this because that's now my track out. That's what I'm going for when I come out of this corner and looking to slide all the way up to this exit. And that's it. That's the lap here. We'll go ahead and I'll post this. Hopefully you guys can watch it, and then we can have a Q&A session as you look at this. Thanks.